Hi guys! Welcome back to Keza Space. My name is Titi and I'm very happy that you are here with me today. I hope that you're doing well and I continue to pray God's protection over your life. In today's video, I want to go over some things people should consider before they get married. Now, I'm not a marriage specialist or a marriage counselor, but I have learned some things along the way and also around like the people who have been married. And so I want to go ahead and share some of the tips I learned to the rest of you guys, hoping that it's going to help you if you are wanting to get married in the future. And so the first tip that I'm going to go over is considering yourself. I want you to consider yourself because when you get into a marriage, your life changes forever. You gain new responsibilities in marriage. So there's a lot of things that comes with marriage in terms of responsibilities. You have the other family that you have considered. You have to consider this other person you're living with. And so you also have to consider the fact that you're going to be the woman or the man of the house, and each person have the things that they are responsible for in the household. And so marriage comes with a lot of new responsibilities, and so you need to make sure that you're going to be ready for that before you actually get into marriage. If you don't feel ready, you should not be pressured to get married. Don't be pressured because your friends or other family members are getting married. If you're not ready, just wait for your time when you feel like it's the right time for you. And so another thing is you should consider the fact that when you get married to another person, they are bringing in their family members. So you're going to be having that person's family in your life, and they're also going to have your family in their life. So you're bringing two families together, and so you might not like that family, but you have to consider that it's still part of your life because of the other person, and you cannot take their family away just as much as they cannot take your family away. So there have to be a common ground when you are considering marrying someone else, to bring these two families together so everyone can be happy. And so another thing you need to consider by yourself is when you're married, you might have children in the future. And so once you have kids in the future, it's going to be other additional responsibilities that they're going to be added to your life. And so that's something a lot of people don't consider when they get married, just because they don't know how much responsibility they are going to face. And so the first tip is to consider yourself. Definitely take time to make sure this is the thing that you want to be involved in. Marriage is very challenging, but at the same time it's very rewarding. And so I'm not here to scare you, but I'm here to actually share what I think about marriage and what people need to actually take time to think about before they get into marriage. It's a serious commitment. And so my thing is, if you sign that paper, that marriage certificate, you have to live by that. Unless there is some serious issues that I cannot judge. But once you sign that certificate, you have to follow the word that you're going to live with this person for the rest of your life. And so to me, I consider that very serious. And so when you decide to do that, there's no going back, unless, again, there is something very severe that you cannot live in this marriage because of that particular situation. So consider yourself first and take time to think about this. So tip number 2, pray a lot about your marriage, that you are about to get married, or the thought of you wanting to get married. I just think that a lot of people don't take the time to actually meditate on this, pray on it, and see what God wants you to do. And a lot of people just jump into marriage thinking like it's just something for fun, and just because somebody else is doing it, it should be okay for you. Each person has a different experience with marriage, and so you should not go by what other people are telling you. or what you're seeing other people in their marriages are doing. So when you are considering about getting married, you should take the time to pray about this new decision you are about to make, because this is a life-changing decision that will change your life forever. So I don't know how to emphasize this, but I think you need, not I think, you need to take the time to pray on this and pray to God that this new decision will be fruitful. This new decision will have, will be something that is going to be a life-changing event for you in a good way. And so that's tip number 2. Pray about your marriage before you actually, make that decision to get married. I'm not saying stop praying when you get there. Keep praying for your marriage. Keep praying for your family, because these prayers will protect your family, will bring many blessings to you. And so that's why I use that as tip number 2, because I myself consider praying as one of the most important thing in the marriage. And even on the, like, when you have a bridal shower, that's one thing they always tell you: pray, pray, pray. Get you on your knees and pray for your marriage, pray for your family, and just pray. And so that's why I consider that as a good tip to tell you guys to do before you get married and during your marriage. Don't ever stop praying. And then tip number 3, consider your partner. Your partner is a whole different person. So they're going to come into a new marriage with, their own characteristics, the things they like, the things they dislike. And sometimes, it might not match with what you like and what you don't like. And so it's going to be like, you guys going to clash most of the time. But you should consider them too. You should consider the fact that this person is someone that you're going to be living for the rest of your life. And so you need to try to learn what they like and what they don't like, and do the things that they like the most, and try to stay away from the things that they don't like the most. And so another thing is, when you consider your partner, consider the fact that this person is also, like I said, bringing a new family into this marriage. And so you should consider their family as much as he should consider your family. You should learn to love each side of the family and be there for both families. And so I have seen a lot of marriages where one person wants to take the other person to their family and then leave the person's family behind, which is definitely wrong. I think that when two people come together, they are also bringing their families together. So try to consider that this person also has his history that he's bringing into the marriage. Another thing is, consider the fact that this person has a whole different background. One important thing that I want to mention: get to know this person very well before you get married to them, because you don't want to be surprised when you are in the marriage and you find out that this person had this particular history that's so bad, and it turns out that you have to leave the marriage because of his decisions in the past. So before you actually get there, try to know this person. That way you can avoid situations like that. And another thing is, consider that this person is different from you. Not everyone is the same. So consider that this person is going to be different. They might not like to sleep with a blanket on. I know that's a weird example. Or they might not like a particular food, but you like this food. So just consider all those differences that you guys are going to have. So considering your partner, thinking about them, thinking if they have anything in common with them, is part of the things that you really need to think when you're making that decision. And then the third thing is, go into this marriage with the right intentions. If you go in the marriage with the wrong intentions, most likely this marriage might not work out, and most likely it's gonna have a lot of issues. By saying that, it doesn't mean that my marriage is perfect, but I'm just saying that I have seen a lot of failed marriages, because the intention was wrong to begin with. So what I want to say on that is, don't marry anyone because of the things they have. By that I mean because of the wealth, or the things like materialistic that they provide. They give you everything that you want and you love them for their things. No. Marry this person because you feel like you love them and you want to spend the rest of your life with them, not considering the fact of anything they're giving you. And so I have seen a lot of people who get into the marriage because this person has a house, or this person has a nice job, they have investments, and so they only jump into the marriage because of all those things, all those materialistic things that they see, and they imagine themselves having a great life, and so they jump into marriage because of that. And I think that's very wrong. And those people who do that, the marriage end up breaking out, or they continue to have issues in their marriage. So materialistic is something that a lot of people need to put aside when they're considering to get married. Get married because you love the person. Marry them because you want to spend the rest of your life with them, and marry them because you feel like this person is a person for you. So with that being said, please don't try to marry a person for their things, because at the end of the day, you're hurting this person, you're hurting his family or her family, you're hurting the children that you guys have together. And so all those things people need to consider. Try to put your feelings aside and think about what that decision might cause if you marry the person because of their things. And so the other thing is, you should go into the marriage with open mind. What I mean by that is, go in marriage knowing that you can have a good marriage. Don't go into the marriage with negative thoughts, thinking that, oh, this marriage is not going to work because this and that. No, go into this marriage with a good, positive mind thinking. Try not to consider all those negative thoughts you heard about marriages. Not everyone's marriage is the same. Everyone has a different experience. Don't ever listen to anyone that says marriages are the same. Each person has a different experiences in their marriage. Therefore, try to go in your marriage with a positive mindset. And when you get there, try to stay positive. A lot of times, there are going to be times where you guys going to crash. You're not going to agree on a certain thing, but try to stay positive. And when one person is upset, the other person should try to, calm down and calm the situation down. Instead of both of you guys being upset at the same time, that's a big no-no. So try to stay calm when you're arguing, or just take time, go in the room or go do something else, so that you both can have time to think about what you guys were arguing about. And another thing you should consider is praying. Pray in your marriage, guys, or before you get married. Pray for your partner, pray for a new family that you're about to start. Just pray about everything. Pray that God is gonna be in your marriage. He's gonna lead your family and He's gonna protect you. Trusting God when you are considering getting married, and also trust that your marriage will be fine. I think as long as you're praying, it should be good. So, and you should be okay too. So pray a lot. Pray before you get married. Pray for your partner. Pray for everything that you feel like is important in your marriage, and then pray that you're gonna have a successful marriage. So with that being said, also pray for the families that you are about to bring together. For the most part, when you bring two different families, most likely they're not gonna agree on some things. But pray for your family and pray that you're gonna have a good relationship with each side of the family. I have seen where one side of the family doesn't have a good relationship with one of the person in the marriage, and it's no good. And try to consider the fact that each person loves their family the same. And so try to treat each side of the family with love and respect. That way you guys can all live in peace. Marriage is not perfect, and I'm not going to say that you're going to live in peace and there's not going to be any arguments or anything like that. But as long as you have each other and you pray about it and you communicate about everything. If you are about to go to the store, let your partner know that you are going to the store. If you're gonna go to work, or no, work is something that he should know, but if you're gonna go to anywhere, even anywhere simple, let them know that you're going there. Communication is the key to a successful marriage. I don't know how I can emphasize that, but communicate about everything and anything. That way you leave no room for any disagreement or any fight. And so that's one important thing I wanna emphasize on. Communicate. That way there's no any fight regarding like, oh, where were you, or why didn't you answer your phone? You could have been busy. But they're gonna learn not to trust that if you don't if you don't tell them where you're going. So communicate with your partner, communicate with them about everything. And so those are some tips that I wanted to share about marriage that you should consider. If you have any other tips that you want to share with the rest of us, go ahead and comment below and let me know, because I'm also still learning. Like I said, I've only been married for 2 years. I have a long way to go, and I would love to see some of the tips that you guys also recommend. But those are some tips that I wanted to share and tools that you can use before you jump into marriage. That way you can try to have a successful marriage. Thank you guys for watching. I love you guys for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Go ahead, share and comment and subscribe to this video. Bye.